Jack Kim, and he's a co-founder. And Jack is like a teenager. Don't tell the bar, right? Jack, hit it.
All right, thank you. Right, hi, my name is Jack Kim from Easy Parking Systems, and we want to help people park faster, find their cars easier, and save the environment. So let's talk about parking. It's a pain in the ass, literally. You have to sit and drive around the parking lot numerous times just to find one empty space, and then trying to find your car, and this, or this. Indeed, parking's truly a global pain in the ass that you can experience anywhere you go. But parking's also causing a lot of environmental harm as well. Every day, an average driver in a city like Seoul wanders a third of a mile to find an empty space. In a month, that's 10 miles, or half a gallon of gas. Multiply that by how many people live in the city, that's a lot of carbon emissions. The biggest loser in this battle are actually the businesses. Congested parking lots result in lower patronage and revenues, and frustrated customers. So to solve this, we developed Easy Parking, an affordable parking guidance system for parking lots and businesses. Our unique patented system has two main functions: guiding drivers to empty spots and reminding drivers where they parked. Here's how it works. We divide an entire parking lot into dozens of different zones. Then, our cameras placed before and after each zone carefully track exactly how many cars pass through or decide to stay. And since we now know in real time how many spaces are left in each zone, we can guide incoming drivers to the empty ones via simple LED lighted signs. Now, when the driver gets ready to leave, we can backtrack our database to figure out which zone his car was seen last, and remind him where he parked via SMS, app, or a kiosk. Now, other parking guidance systems do exist out there in the market. In fact, they've done so for the past 10 years, but we're very different, and here's how. Our competitors use an outdated single-space monitoring technique that requires installing an ultrasonic sensor above every single parking space. This leads to incredibly costly installation, networking, and maintenance costs. And on top of that, these systems only guide. They can't tell drivers where they parked. The Easy Parking system, on the other hand, replaces these hundreds of different sensors, which is dozens of cameras and proprietary software. With this, we can nearly halve the overall cost of ownership, all while adding a whole new feature of finding our car. But the biggest differentiator of all is that we can target a whole new market no competitor can currently touch. Whereas it's nearly impossible to install these hundreds of sensors outdoors and network them, our wireless networking technology allows us to easily go in and install a handful of cameras outdoors. This is especially a huge market opportunity here in North America, where outdoor parking lots drastically outnumber indoor ones. The market we're operating in is huge. Parking is an $18 billion industry here in the US, with over 40,000 facilities. And the smart transportation market that we're in is also booming, growing over 23% annually. Now, this huge $27 billion market, guidance systems are estimated to be roughly $1 to $3 billion. Market trends are also showing big potential for guidance systems. Last year, the International Parking Institute ranked it as the second biggest potential in improving parking sustainability. And the parking guidance industry in the US alone is exploding right now. Global companies such as 3M, Xerox, and Siemens are all entering the space. And the top 3 market leaders operating in the US have all been acquired by large European transportation companies within the last few months. This shows us that we're at the right place at the right time with the right product. And with the new climate action plan announced by President Obama just this June, the government is heavily supporting and working with companies that are reducing carbon emissions. In terms of growth, here's where we are right now. We filed for patents across 10 different countries, with 6 of them already registered, including here in the US. And as of the summer, our full-scale testing site in Korea is functional, which means that we're getting very close to being ready to sell. We plan to enter the booming US market first, focusing on outdoor facilities, while mainly distributing through indoor and apartment contractors in Korea. On a global scale, we can expand faster than any of our competitors, so we can license our software-intensive solution out to multiple local third-party vendors. As for traction, we already have some of the biggest transportation and construction companies in Korea interested, such as Hyundai. We've recently signed an MOU with 3M Korea, and we're arranging more meetings right now after announcing our big milestone this summer. We make money through direct installations, licensing our software, and selling customized cameras. We hope to enter about 10 facilities by the end of next year and grow as fast as possible after gaining more distribution partners worldwide. Finally, we are the right team with the right skills to do the job. We literally have one of the world's best salesmen as our head of sales and CEO, and a technical co-founder with over 10 years of experience. We're currently seeking $550,000 in early stage financing to grow our team and ramp up sales. We're nearly done with testing and development, and we need your help to get our great product in the market. Thank you. Any questions?
I have a question. What about public parking spaces on the
Public
streets?
parking spaces? We're not quite there yet. Right there.
Thank you for the presentation, very interesting. I have a question for indoor parking lots.
Mm-hmm.
Do you use existing video surveillance cameras or you install new cameras? Are these like very specific cameras, like expensive ones? And how many spots do you cover with these cameras?
Okay, regarding the last question about how many spaces we cover, that's totally determined by the owner of the parking lot. So it can range from anywhere from 3 spaces to 20 spaces per camera. So 20 spaces per camera. And that's solely dependent on how much money you want to spend. And in terms of the camera itself, we can work with existing surveillance cameras as long as they fit our specifics in terms of resolution and how many frames per second that they shoot. And if the cameras are not up to spec, then we can sell our own customized cameras, which come with a wireless networking bundle. Did that answer your question? Right. Another question?
Thank you. Right here. Not sure you cover that, but if you did, how do users find out whether parking spots are available? Do I need to download your app and you're going to guide me? You're going to know I'm inside this parking lot?
Okay. So as seen in the slideshow, I think it's the 5th slide, there are lighted signs, so LED signs that guide you. So it says if you go right, there's no spaces left. If you go left, there's 5. And so if you just follow the path, you'll end up with a zone that's empty.
And since I have the mic, one more question. Have you tested for the variation in the accuracy, right? If you're going outdoor and putting cameras, how much is the weather, wind going to impact the accuracy, of the counting?
So you're asking about outdoor facilities or indoor? Outdoor? So outdoor is something that we need to do our full-scale testing site in. Right now, our site in Korea is with indoors. And so regarding the weather, that would be something we have to look into, but we're very confident that we can make it work. Any other questions? Mm-hmm.
Jack, you've only been driving for like maybe 3 years. How did this become such a problem?
What was the question?
As someone who may have only been driving for just a few years now, how did this resonate with you as such a problem to solve?
One of the problems is in Asia, especially in Korea, all these apartments that they share underground parking lots. And that's something that's very different there here in Korea, where you're guaranteed a spot. And actually, if you own an apartment, then there's a shared space, then you have, like 21Z, that's your spot. In Korea, it's very different. It goes up to as far as 5 floors down, across, a couple thousand spaces. And when you're out, for work or whatever it is, school, it's very hard to actually find where you park your car. And so, that's one of the problems that we aim to solve with easy parking, is that we can just tell you where you park. And also finding spaces is, as I've mentioned, it really is a pain in the ass. Anywhere you go, especially in malls and concerts, I think. And so I think it's a great benefit for the customers. And in Korea, actually, if you go to big department stores, the majority of them actually have these systems installed. These are competitors, and right now they're in the process of tearing them all apart, just because there's so many points of failure for these competitor systems where there's thousands of different sensors. And if one fails, it screws everything up. So our job is to, kind of eliminate the need for maintenance and also networking.
Hi. My question will be more on the technological point of view.
Okay.
Do you use tracking or just image analysis and comparison?
Do we use tracking or?
Yeah, or just you compare image and you detect if there is a car or not.
Okay, so I'm the CMO, so I can point you to our CTO later on. But
Okay.
I think the rough answer to that question would be We have a certain, in any of our cameras, we have a certain frame within the picture where we detect motion. And if we do detect motion, then we just take shots. And we analyze that with our license recognition technology, so we just match that and then put that into our database. So for more detailed explanation, I'll give you the email of our CTO. I don't want to, give you the wrong.
Hey, how am I going to find my car? Do I have to register, create an account, and put in my phone number or my email address? How does it work?
So the question's, how would you find your car if you registered your...
Well, when you pull into a parking space,
Uh-huh.
you may not have registered for your system. So how's that going to work?
Okay, so in the case of a kiosk or anything else like a smartphone app, then you'd be able to enter in your partial license plate number or full license plate number, and it'll give you the options of which cars has been detected with the partial license plate, and you can choose from which ones. And that's something that one of our competitors is doing currently in Australia. Is they're not using our system where it's zone monitoring. They do single space monitoring, but except they don't use ultrasonic sensors. They use actual HD cameras. So it costs 3 times as more, but they do have the feature of finding a car. And the user experience for that is when you get out of the elevator, they just have a kiosk where you can enter your partial license plate, and then it just narrows it down to different pictures, and you can choose which one.
We're officially out of time, but that was great.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks for